Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Tarot and Astro Insights. And I was guided and urged to talk about this 222 energy. We've got this very powerful 222 portal of energies, and I was asked to talk about this and how it kind of links in to the twin flame journey. And so we're going to explore the 222 energy in this video. We're going to talk about how it relates to the twin flame dynamic. And I'm going to try to provide you with some pretty powerful insights in order to guide you closer to understanding how this number sequence can manifest when it comes to your own personal spiritual awakening journey and twin flame connection. So first, we're going to explore the meaning of 222. When we explore this number, we do kind of have to talk about the understanding and the importance of angel numbers as a whole. And so angel numbers, they are divine signals. They are sent to us through repeating number sequences such as 1111, 111, 222, 333, 444, so on and so forth. They can also be mirrored numbers like 121, 131, 232, and so forth. And so each number sequence holds a very unique vibrational number. It does hold a deeper, significant spiritual meaning. And I do find 222 to be one of the most powerful number sequences and angel numbers linked to love, harmony, and spiritual alignment. And so the spiritual meaning of 222 is going to differ for everybody. But for me, the number 2 represents balance. It represents harmony. It represents faith. And it also represents divine timing. And so when we take that number 2 and we amplify that vibration by 3, when we get the number 222, this is a crucial theme, I feel, coming up with the Twin Flame Collective and the Twin Flame Journey connected to this 222 portal of energies. And so when the 222 number appears, we do have to put complete trust and faith in the path, even if things are feeling a little bit uncertain. And so we are kind of encouraged right now to come into this emotional and spiritual alignment as we walk through this 222 portal of energies. We also have to keep in mind the day after the 222 portal, we are going to have Mars stationing direct in the sign of Cancer at exactly 17 degrees after a couple of months plus of this retrograde energy. And so we are all kind of being guided not only as individuals right now in these energies towards self-awareness and growth, but also towards the union of this twin soul, twin flame connection. And so 222 and the twin flame connection is a big sign of divine timing, especially connected to reunion. And so if you keep seeing 222 often, that is definitely a sign that you are on a twin flame journey, and the journey will always unfold exactly as it is supposed to. And so if you are feeling a little bit unsure, 222 is reassuring you that any separation, any confusion, or any distance between you and your counterpart is really just there to serve a greater purpose, right? Everything kind of does serve a greater purpose. And so 222 for me is also this energy of mirroring and finding that inner balance when it comes to the energy of mirroring. And so twin flames are basically two souls that mirror each other's growth. And so as you align to your inner emotional alignment, your twin flame will also be doing the same. It is a mirrored journey of parallel growth. And so 222 is a huge signal that we need to achieve inner balance before any type of union can kind of come forward. And so as one twin flame heals, usually the divine feminine embraces the healing journey first, the other twin will feel this shift happening within the connection. Usually the divine masculine follows suit of the divine feminine who goes through the awakening process first. And so right now I feel collectively we are all being encouraged to release fear, to release doubt, and to kind of release any remnants of these past woundings so we can come into alignment with this higher union, with this soul partnership. And so number 2 does represent partnerships. It does represent this amplified energy of the 222 portal when it comes to deepening this soul connection and the connection of self. And so I do feel we are working towards a lot of personal healing, and we are approaching a massive wave of twin flame union. And this is an energetic bond. We can't forget that it is an energetic bond. And so I feel there's a very strong message coming through today behind the energy of 222 for the twin flame collective of balance and alignment. And so this is a reminder. We are two halves that create a whole, but we each must find a state of inner peace before coming into any physical union. And so we have to heal ourselves. As we heal ourselves, we also heal this connection. And so we do kind of need to put full trust and faith in the awakening process, even if you are in separation. 222 is a huge sign that there are some major divine forces at play right now, and we kind of just need to learn to surrender to the journey. When we surrender to the journey, we do avoid forcing outcomes, because we can never force anything on this path. And so we are kind of being encouraged right now to feel the intensity of whatever is coming up in these energies, whether it's confusing or it's challenging. We are all kind of being reassured right now that everything is kind of unfolding exactly as it is supposed to be. And so right now I feel the 222 energy is a huge sign to stay patient and to trust in the spiritual lessons that are kind of reaching completion within this journey, within this cycle. And so 222 is also a major sign of spiritual awakening and growth. And I do feel both of the twins do go through this awakening process simultaneously in parallel energies. And so right now, collectively, both the masculine and the feminine are being called to deepen their spiritual practices. And we got to trust in our intuition, and we do have to embrace the transformation. So now let's talk about intuition and trusting in that inner compass. So we're going to talk about the importance of intuition. We're going to talk about how this ties into the twin flame relationship. And then we're going to go a little bit further talking about intuition versus ego and how our intuition is going to manifest in our everyday life within this twin flame connection. And so intuition, first and foremost, intuition is the soul's language. It's our natural soul's language. It speaks in feelings. It speaks in this deep sense of inner knowing. And we do connect to our intuition through all of these subtle signs and synchronicities that are guiding us towards this connection. And intuition plays a key role when it comes to the twin flame collective. We first recognize the twin flame when it comes to that soul recognition before any logical understanding kicks in. When logic kicks in, that's usually when separation kind of ensues in these connections. And so our intuition allows us to kind of navigate through all of these challenges, especially during periods of separation and doubt. And so intuition is also how we receive all of these spiritual downloads about the awakening journey, about the twin flame connection, and about the next steps to take. And so the twin flame journey is a telepathic connection. We do need to keep in mind that the telepathy is so much bigger than just you and your counterpart. It is a whole twin flame collective where we have telepathically connected when it comes to intuitively sensing each other's emotions, our thoughts. We can all kind of feel these energetic shifts collectively. And so it's beyond any external logic or external advice. Intuition is very deeply personal to each and every one of us, right? And so it's tailored to our own spiritual path, and it's going to be different for every single one of us. When we talk about intuition versus ego, we do have to recognize and know the difference. And so intuition, it's always going to come from your higher self. The ego energy is rooted in fear. It's rooted in past wounds, and it is rooted in all of this external conditioning. And so there are a couple key differences that we need to be aware of when it comes to this 222 portal energy. Intuition feels calm. Intuition is clear. Intuition is certain. It's just this deep, quiet inner knowing. You don't need it validated by any external people or any external signs and synchronicities. You just have this deep sense of knowing. When the ego is loud, that means you are filled with doubt and you are filled with fear. That is not your intuition. Ego will cause overthinking. Ego will cause anxiety. And so intuition guides you towards alignment. Intuition will guide you towards your twin flame journey, and ego is always going to create that energy of resistance. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again, what we resist will persist. And so ego fuels insecurities. Ego will fuel the energy of impatience, and it will fuel the energy of power and control issues. And so an example when it comes to the twin flame dynamic is our intuition. Our intuition is going to say, hey, I feel we are meant to be together, and I trust in the timing of this growth process. Ego-based energy is going to say, I need to force this connection. It needs to happen right now, or I'm going to lose them forever. You can never lose your divine counterpart. You are always etherically connected, and divine timing is always at play when it comes to the growth process between the masculine and the feminine, and aligning these energies internally in order to create that union in the physical reality. And so how does intuition manifest in our everyday life connected to this twin flame connection? We're going to get those inner nudges. I like to call it that niggling feeling, or that gut intuition, that gut feeling. And so there'll be a strong pull towards this person, or towards this knowing about, hey, this is my twin flame, this is my counterpart. Even if there is absolutely no logical proof, or if you find that person in another connection, you're just going to know. It's going to be this strong pulling energy towards this person. There's going to be repetitive signs. There's going to be repetitive synchronicities all around you when it comes to seeing angel numbers like 222, 1111, 111. For me recently, it's been 555 has been huge, which is a huge indication of massive changes on the horizon. There's also going to be like their name popping up either in conversation or in signs. License plates are huge for me. Pay attention to the license plate numbers. Songs. A lot of the telepathy between the twins and the messages will come through for me in songs. So pay attention when you get in your car to go somewhere. What song is on the radio? And you'll have this connection to similar places as well when it comes to signs and synchronicities. You might feel this sudden wave of emotion, and as I say that, I'm getting chills, which is basically the telepathy of you feeling and sensing their energy, maybe even their emotions or their presence of their higher self, even from a great distance. Some twins live halfway across the world from one another. Even in separation, you will feel this person's energy, their thoughts, their emotions running through you. And dreams and visions will be loud. You will receive messages of seeing your twin flame, even if it's only in dream space. And this is often there to reveal guidance about the next steps to take. I do feel we do a lot of clearing of the negative timelines and the karmic energy in dream space and astral travel. And so there's just going to be this unexplainable urge to reach out to this person. And this is your inner guidance saying, hey, you've got to connect with this person. Or you might suddenly sense it's time to surrender and focus inward rather than chasing this connection. Everything's going to be brought internally. And when it does come to the telepathic messages and the empathic connection between the twins, you're going to be thinking of them constantly, even if it's just in the background of your mind. And so for me, I've been in separation with my counterpart since the beginning of 2019, in the spring of 2019. And I am at peace with the journey and the healing process and where I've been, where I'm going. And there's just this constant energy of this person in the background of my subconscious mind. And you might instantly get a sign when you're thinking about this person, connected to this person. You might just out of the blue feel their emotions as if it's your own. And so those are some big messages about trusting your intuition and your inner guidance on this journey. Okay, now let's talk about signs and messages from the universe and how to identify these signs and these messages related to twin flame and the messages that are guiding you on your journey. And so we do have to be open to identifying specific signs and messages related to the twin flame. And so the universe is always communicating with us, usually through repeated patterns, symbols, number synchronicities, you name it. They're all there to confirm the alignment of your journey or lack thereof alignment. And so common twin flame signs definitely are angel numbers like 22, 222, 33, 333, which all represent this energy, I feel, of divine alignment, balance, union, spiritual alignment, confirmation that you're on the right path. Whenever you see 1111, this is the most powerful awakening code. It does signify manifestation. One is all about manifestations, especially if you see it in threes. 111 is all about the energy of instant manifestation. Watch your words, watch your thoughts, pay attention to what you are thinking of when you see these signs and synchronicities, because 1111 is a huge signal of spiritual alignment and twin flame activation. And we got to remember, it's so much bigger than just us and another person. It's a whole community, a whole collective of twin flame energy. 717 is also a very loud twin flame sync. 717, 616, 818, 919. These are all often associated for me of reunion energy because of the mirroring energy of the number syncs. And it is a sign that this soul connection is deepening. If you see their names, their initials, and all of this is repeating in your life consistently, that is basically your twin's higher self reaching out to you saying, hey, I never really left you. I'm always connected to you. I'm always here. There could be mirrored events that take place or symbolic messages that come through when it comes to all of these signs from the universe. And so you might encounter the same song or the same phrase, or you might have like a similar movie that you watch, even if you're in separation at the same time, that will hold a very personal meaning for the both of you, like the Never-Ending Story, or for me, it's the Avatar movies. And so this mirrored energy is there for both of you. And so if you see visual symbols like butterflies, dragonflies, swans, or infinity signs, this is definitely linked to the twin flame journey and is usually a mirrored sync that the both of you will see in tandem, especially when you are in separation. Dreams, telepathic messages. I know for me, I receive a lot of messages and visions in dream space. I have a lot of encounters with my twin flame in astral travel, in meditation, and in dreams. And so you're just going to feel their presence around you. You might not remember seeing them in the dream. You might not have direct telepathic communication, but it is an energy that you will feel of them being present around you when you awaken from a dream. And these messages are there to kind of guide you on your journey. They're there to reassure you. They're there to encourage you to not give up, to keep going, and to trust in the divine timing of the universe, because the universe is always nudging us, right? To put full faith and surrender and trust in this process, even when in separation or facing any like major life challenges. And so we're always being guided towards growth. We're always being guided towards healing. And so when the signs are increasing and it's like you're running through a portal of energy every time you run out and you do errands and you're like, oh my God, the numbers are flying at me like crazy. That is to reassure you, to release your doubt. The synchronicities are there as reminders to focus on your inner journey, to focus on your inner healing rather than any external outcomes, because ultimately the twin flame journey is always going to be a journey of self, right? We are whole and complete without this union of this other energy or this other person. And so I do feel the signs and the syncs are there to highlight too where you need to bring something back into balance, whether it be your emotions, your thoughts, or any unresolved wounds that keep being re-triggered in order to resurface, in order to learn that lesson in its completeness. And so a lot of signs and synchronicities are also there to confirm this deep inner knowing. Signs will appear if you have a strong intuitive sense or feeling, and they're kind of there to just validate what your soul already knows. And so if you're thinking about reaching out to your twin and then you suddenly see 222 and maybe you hear their favorite song or a song that you thought of when you were with them, perhaps before separation ensued, then that's a clear indication of the universe saying, hey, go ahead, reach out to that person. And so the role of synchronicities when it comes to twin flames is all about divine alignment. It's all there to confirm, like, hey, yes, you're on a twin flame journey. Yes, everything is unfolding exactly as it is supposed to unfold, because everything in this connection's energy serves as a mirror. And so the more frequently these signs and these syncs are appearing, that is a huge indication that both of you are evolving spiritually together in tandem. And so a lot of the synchronicities will show up like running into each other unexpectedly. I can't tell you how many times throughout the journey we have crossed paths out driving past one another. Just jokingly, I think the last experience for me was just before Christmas. And I jokingly said to my daughter after running some errands, oh, look, there's so-and-so's car. And I was joking, and within a few more blocks, there he was. And so all of this is to remind you that, yes, you are thinking about one another. If you're thinking about each other at the same time, you will have these synchronistic moments more often than not. And you'll be feeling drawn to go to specific places or events or situations because that's closely tied to where your counterpart is going to be at. And so synchronicities are always there to kind of signal that you are progressing on the journey. And when they kind of intensify, that is a push to recognize, I feel, the spiritual mission behind this connection, because it's so much bigger than just romance. It is a spiritual mission that we are here to focus on. It's not solely romantic. It's far from romantic if you think about it. And so I think the 222 synchronicity is a reminder to encourage us all to trust in divine timing, because even though many of us are in separation, these synchronicities do remind us that the universe is always trying to guide us towards reunion, and we do have to trust and we do have to surrender. These signs also allow us, I feel, to reduce anxiety and to allow this connection to evolve organically. So let's talk about how we can take these signs, these synchronicities, and we can trust in our inner guidance, because these signs, these synchronicities are there to encourage us to trust our intuition. And so we need to remember intuition is the most powerful tool that we have on this spiritual journey. Our intuition is that inner compass, and it's always going to guide us towards our spiritual journey, our spiritual mission. Why do we have to trust it? We have to trust it because it is the one energy that is completely aligned with our higher self. It leads us towards not only our soul growth, but it does lead us towards our soul purpose. And so we can't play into ego-based fear. We do have to understand that our intuition is a direct channel to the universe, to God, and it is offering us this wisdom and these insights that our ego and our rational mind will never, ever understand. And so we are connected to our intuition when we have a sense of calm, when we have clarity when it comes to making decisions. Our intuition is always going to bring forward this very deep sense of inner knowing. And we don't need external validation when we are allowing our intuition to guide us. The synchronicities, the repeating signs are there to affirm our intuitive messages that we all receive. And so I want to encourage you all to trust in your intuition. And this does require patience and it does require faith. The more you follow your intuition, the stronger your intuition will grow and the stronger this telepathic connection will grow. If your intuition seems a little bit uncertain and you feel like it's not guiding you to where you need to go, then maybe there's an experience there that you need to learn from, because sometimes intuition is not immediately obvious. We have to get into the practice of being led by it daily. And so if you're feeling like a nudge when it comes to the twin flame journey, we need to take a step back, right? Sometimes we're not being guided when it comes to a positive intuitive hit. Sometimes we're being guided by your ego, and this will feel overwhelming. And so when things get overwhelming, shift your focus towards healing instead of pushing. We're not here to push. We're here to pull. We're here to pull in the energy of this connection, and it will evolve naturally as we each choose to evolve individually. And so we need to remember the Twin Flame Collective is here to pave a way for deeper, healthier connections within the collective. And so we need to recognize the signs. When we receive clear signs through synchronicities from the universe, It will confirm a decision we've already made or a decision we need to make, and it will reassure us of the journey and the path forward. So if you're uncertain, look to the synchronicities. Sometimes it's hard to understand the full guidance. If you don't understand number sequences, I do highly suggest getting rooted in a practice of understanding numerology and the vibration that each numbers hold from 1 through 9, because this will bring you a full completion of the understanding of the significance of number patterns. And so we do have to stay aligned with our inner peace as well. And so I do feel trusting that gut feeling will always, always lead to positive outcomes. And so I'm going to offer you all a few tips that I journaled about when it comes to strengthening your intuition. Meditation and mindfulness. I talk about this all the time. Practice meditation. When we practice meditation, it does allow us to quiet the mind. It allows us to connect with our higher self, and it is a conscious practice. It takes a long time to learn how to meditate and to quiet those mental clutter thoughts up in your headspace. Mindfulness practices help us tune in to the subtle intuitive nudges, and it allows us to drop into the senses of our body. We have to pay attention to our body's signals too. So intuition will manifest physically at times. That is my strongest sense, is my sense of feeling by human design. And so intuition, a yes will feel like this tingling sensation. The tingling sensation is that energy of divine truth washing over you, and it will bring you a sense of calm rather than a sense of unease. So pay attention how you feel when it comes to making decisions. If it's like stirring your gut and it doesn't feel right, then that's your intuition saying, hey, the alarm bells are kind of going off and this isn't going to be good for me. Keep a journal. I'm a very strong advocate for journaling. Write down your thoughts, write down about your dreams, write down about the synchronicities that you see and what you're thinking about when you see them. Keep a daily journal. Helps you keep track of number patterns. It helps you strengthen your connection to your own inner guidance as well. And then you can kind of look back at those journals in 6 months down the road and be like, holy cow, it's all kind of piecing together right now. Trust and act on those niggling small nudges from the universe. When we trust in those small intuitive prompts and we follow them, it leads to bigger prompts from the intuition, and it allows us to build that confidence when it comes to trusting our intuition and the downloads and the guidance that we're receiving. And practice discernment. That's a really big one, right? We do have to practice discernment on the journey. We have to learn to distinguish between intuition and the voice of the ego. Intuition is quiet. The ego is loud. And so intuition is calm, it's clear, and the ego is fearful, it's rushed, and it's filled with all kinds of uncertainty and doubt. So if that's what you're sitting in this 222 portal energy, bring yourself back to center, do those mindfulness practices, and bring your center back to calm. Spend time in nature. Nature really does help us reconnect with Mother Earth. It allows us to reconnect with our true self and the understanding that everything is connected. We are all one with each other and with the earth and Mother Nature. And when we spend time in nature, we do quiet the noise of the world around us and all of these rambling thoughts. So spend time in nature. It really does help you to deepen your intuition, and it does help you to ground yourself. Trust in your dreams, trust in your visions. When we pay attention to the dreams that oftentimes carry a lot of divine guidance, a lot of divine messages related to the twin flame journey and our life path as a whole, it does allow us to see things more clearly. So reflect on your dreams. I encourage everybody all the time to keep a dream journal because it is bringing forward insights that we do need to reflect upon, okay? Now let's talk about living your twin flame journey, because we do still have to live a normal life all while experiencing this very intense twin flame journey. And we do have to embrace the entirety of the twin flame journey, whether we are in separation or union, because union really is an inner process. And so we have to embrace every single step of the twin flame experience. It's all unique. Every twin flame journey is unique. Every twin flame experience is filled with growth, challenges and moments of deep, deep connection. And so whether you're in separation or union, each phase holds very valuable lessons that we are here to learn. And this is a journey of personal and collective healing. And so there's growth in separation. We do our biggest growth in separation. Separation is one of the most sacred spaces on the pathway to self-discovery. It's the pathway to healing. It's the pathway to growth. And separation is the biggest opportunity that we have to focus on our own inner alignment. It allows us to create this very strong foundation of self, and eventually the reunion process where we do become interdependent in these connections. Growth will always lead to union, whether union of self or union within these connections. And the growth process is there to help us evolve spiritually, right? Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, that is what we came here for. And so the more you work on your spiritual, emotional, and mental health, the more this will accelerate the union process. But ultimately, the separation stage encourages both of the twins to work in harmony with each other. And it does allow us to strengthen our weaknesses. And so what one twin will have as a weakness, the other twin will have as a strength, and vice versa, in order to balance out the polarities. And so we do have to honor the journey in its entirety. We have to trust that every experience, whether joyful or painful or challenging or easy, is kind of all part of the divine plan. And so when we allow ourselves to grow without rushing towards an outcome, because we can so often want to rush towards that union, we have to understand that each moment in time holds significance for each of us individually and collectively. And so really the journey of living your twin flame path is a journey of self-love. Self-love is the foundation for every connection that we have. The power of self-love and the power of self-acceptance is what this is all about. When we learn to love and accept ourselves fully, this is the most essential part of the twin flame journey. We can't fully love our twin flame until we fully have embraced our own self-worth. And we have to fully heal our inner wounds. And I can understand where it's hard to accept that we ever fully heal. I know I hear so many divine feminines say, I'm so tired of the healing process. There's always going to be another layer that is revealed, but we do have to get to a point of self-acceptance where we accept all of the parts of ourselves, the light and the shadow aspects, because we have both of these, and it's crucial to integrate both of these aspects, because the twin flame is always going to mirror you. When you heal yourself and you love yourself, it does encourage the counterpart to also heal and love themselves. And so daily practices of self-love are key. On the journey, we have to engage in these practices of nourishing our mind, nourishing our body, nourishing our soul, journaling, meditation, affirmations. And we have to remember that self-love is not selfish. It's necessary to instill healthy boundaries. We have to learn how to give and receive love in a healthy manner in all of our connections. And so when we promote hope, love, and optimism for the future, that really is where we need to be. And so it doesn't matter where you are in your twin flame journey. We have to trust that everything happens in divine right timing. The universe is always going to guide us towards what we need on our growth journey, whether it's the twin flame or a catalyst or soul connection. It's all part of the process to this pathway of self-love. And we have to kind of try to stay optimistic about the future. And it can be daunting at times. But this journey ultimately is going to be filled with challenges. And the end game is that blissful union. And there's always a higher purpose to everything. And there's always a higher purpose guiding us to whatever lessons we need in order to elevate us individually and collectively to reach these greater spiritual heights, even if it is through some very difficult times. And so hold that hope for reunion without the expectation of when it's going to happen, and trust in the plan of the universe. Trust in the plan for these twin flame unions and reunions, no matter how far apart it might feel that you are at times. We do have to remember we are connected always and forever at the soul level. So believe in the power of love and believe in the healing power to bring you back together with your counterpart. So let's close this off and tie it all together and remember that the journey is ours to embrace. You can embrace it from a place of positivity, or you can embrace it from a place of negativity. But understanding the 222 portal energy is basically a loud signal to trust in your inner guidance. to recognize the signs from the universe, and to trust that each chapter that you go through is providing you with the necessary tools that you need to navigate the journey of life itself. And so this is a journey about growth. It's a journey about growth, about learning, and ultimately about unconditional love. But ultimately, we do have to love ourselves first, unconditionally. That is really what this divine plan connects us to, is the energy of unconditional love of self. So honor your path, honor your truth, honor the divine timing of your own personal journey, and honor the lessons along the way, because we have to keep our heart open. Love really is the energy that we're here to embody, and it is within all of us. Should we choose to open up our heart, not only between us and our twin flame, but between everybody we connect with. And so I do feel a new beginning is awaiting all of us within the collective, but we do have to take those steps to bring us closer to our own personal greater understanding and healing. And then ultimately that will lead us towards the union. So final notes: embrace the journey with love, embrace the journey with hope, embrace the journey with knowing that the best is yet to come.